Hi, I'm Karl Lagerborg, and I am Senior Manager of Racing Operations and Equine Welfare at Woodbine Racetrack. My day-to-day job at Woodbine as Senior Manager of Racing Operations and Equine Welfare includes overseeing the racing product, so the day-to-day running of the races. But it's very simple. I have a very great team. I have a manager of racing operations and horseman's concierge, clerk of the scales, horse identification, paddock judge, placing judge. So basically, I just check in with them if there's anything that I need to know for the day, if there's anything going on, and then from time to time, taking a walk around. Well, normally you take a walk around the grandstand and just check on things and see if everything's going well, visit clientele. And then the equine welfare part of it is just every day, just keeping an eye on things of how horses are. We have a horses of interest page, looking at how horses are training, if they're racing often, if there's anything that we need to inform the commission vet if they need to look at. That just a little added touch. And of course, and I spent a lot of time reading about what's going on in the equine welfare world because HISA has taken over in the US and it's not Canadian, but at the end of the day, we need to learn as much as we can. I think you need to know the racing product. You need to know your horse people, which trainers, owners, just everyone from the backstretch, basically, and see if, that sometimes people want to come up and discuss things with you, and it may be a groom, a hot walker, an exercise rider, and listen to what's going on, and then keep an eye on things, and be very available to listen if there's an issue over a racetrack or if it's weather related, talking to our jocks to make sure that everything's 100% when it comes to our tracks, because you have to listen to everyone and make sure to pay attention because everyone's concerns are very important in order for the day-to-day operation of our racing. Challenges can be simple as someone being upset because their horse was scratched or a horse is not getting into a race. We all deal with that in the racing department. It's not just the racing secretary himself, it's racing operations, it's entry clerk. Everyone in the racing department deals with the same things on a day-to-day basis. Other challenges include, if it's weather related and if we're off the turf, well, people want an explanation of why we took a race off the turf, or if we have to delay races due to weather, or we have to, just keep an eye on hot weather, cold weather. There's so many different protocols that we follow. And the same thing on the equine welfare side is following up when something's going on. You're contacted by someone about a horse. It's always, you have to make sure that you are answering everyone's questions. Well, I grew up in the industry from a very young age. My family was dedicated to racing. And I grew up in racing, learned how to groom horses, took a year off and did not go to university, but ended up very luckily grooming a Queen's Plate winner for Roger Ratfield, Hall of Fame trainer. A few more years in the industry, and then worked for Mac Benson for 10 years as his assistant trainer, another Hall of Fame trainer. And knew I wanted to work in the industry. I just didn't want to, I never wanted to train horses, it's some people want and love to train horses, and it just wasn't in my cards. But I went after a job with Woodbine and said, I'm the right person for you. And so started working in the stall office. I held the position of authorized agent administrator, and then stabling superintendent, which was the assistant stall man, then manager of backstretch operations, and then manager of stabling operations. When my boss retired, Marty Veldon, I took over stabling and backstretch operations under one fold. And then the availability of this job, the senior manager of racing, opened up because Steve Lim had moved on to work for First Racing. And my boss promoted me to this position. I think for new people that are coming into the industry is let people know what you want. It's funny, I've had that line come back to me a few times because I always said, I let everybody know what I wanted. I continued from the day that I came here, but even before that, you work hard, you show your promise, and you let people know that you're very interested and you're interested in the next step. I was told long ago by a boss, always dress for success. Dress for the position you want, not the position you have. And I've always followed that. Now, I'm not doing it today. I hate to say it's winter and it's a quiet day at work. I should have dressed much better, much more appropriately. But at the end of the day, you know what? Just let people know what you want. Um, it's fun. It's, you know what, there's that old adage, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But it's not just that. It's letting people know that you're very interested and you want to pursue that career. It's not just a job. People will see that very quickly and will look for things to give you in different, they'll start looking at what you can take on more than what you're doing in the role you're in to see that promise through. The most satisfying part is just seeing people happy when they come to the races, when they're running horses. It's the same thing in equine welfare. Knowing that you've helped when a horse is, some people come to us and they say, can you help us place a horse? Can you help us, like to talk to long run? Because they don't have that connection or, and which is funny because they're all here. But some people just don't have the connection or they know that their horse could move on to an aftercare thoroughbred, like show jumping and just knowing that we can help out to make a difference for people's racing and knowing that racing will continue long after that we're gone. Thanks for listening today and hearing about what I do. And I wish you all the best in whatever role you decide to take. And always feel free to reach out and ask questions. And if if there's interest in the racing department, we do hold an internship each season for 2 people. And please let us know what you're interested in, and hopefully we can fulfill your dreams.